Today we have an absolute certified banger, and that's because we are talking about Esper, and we also have my favorite reanimator card of all time, Dollhouse of Horrors. And if you guys don't know, this thing taps for 1 mana and allows you to bring any creature back from the graveyard as a 1/1 token with haste, which means all of our creatures have to have really good attack triggers or enter the battlefield effects. We've got things like the Sphinx of Clear Skies, All-Seeing Arbiter, and Dusk Mangler. The Sphinx is going to be able to attack right away, allowing us to draw a ton of cards because we are 3 colors. We've also got the All-Seeing Arbiter to get us through our deck quickly, drawing and discarding cards, which plays with the reanimation effects, but also it shuts down our opponent's offense for the next couple of turns. The Dusk Mangler, man, that thing allows our opponents to sacrifice creatures, discard their cards, and take damage. So all these creatures are fantastic choices for the Dollhouse. Now, we are also going to be doubling all of the effects of the Dollhouse with things like Kaya and Teferi. Kaya is going to allow us to double the amount of tokens that are generated in a single turn, which plays extremely well with this deck. But also Teferi untaps that Dollhouse, allowing us to use it for a second time in a single turn, which is absolutely insane. But there's going to be a full deck breakdown, of course, at the end of today's video as always, so stick around for that. In the meantime, down below there's a link in the description for the full deck list. And if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps a ton, guys. I appreciate all of the support, and with that being said, enjoy today's video, guys. We'll see you back here at the end. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a fun list for you. We're going to be playing an Esper deck, and it's going to be built around a Dollhouse of Horrors reanimation style of build, which is right up my alley. I love this card so much. Probably one of my favorite cards out there right now. So it should be a lot of fun. We have a pretty good opening hand, actually, because we can go right from Tainted Indulgence right into a Thirst for Discovery. So the mana looks good too on that. So let's keep this and roll with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, man. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I do appreciate it a lot. All right, nothing on turn 2 here immediately. We're gonna wait to cast Indulgence on their turn here. Sleeper attacking us for 2 is not that big of a deal. All right, that's annoying, but not the end of the world. Draw some cards here, drop off the Arbiter, trying to get that in early with the Dollhouse. It's a good find off the top here. Do we go for the Kaya to keep their attention off of my face for a turn, or do we go for, the Thirst for Discovery? I think we go for the Thirst for Discovery, if I'm being honest. Kaya's too valuable in the end game. And then we have Depopulate too, which can help us if we find a second white source here to obviously clear this board up a little bit. They're probably going to pump this Evolve Sleeper up a little bit more. They do. They're off to a pretty good start with that Sleeper. All right, that's fine. Looking like a pretty good Depopulate for us here. I do need another white source, though. We're going to decline this. There it is. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, do we actually want to do that right now, or do we want to... Teferi, maybe? No, Teferi just dies. Yeah, it's going to have to be Depopulate. We're going to take the Pain Land here. Hit these. I do just hate the fact that they're going to get this 2/2 in this next turn. Would have been nice to get that as well with the Dollhouse. I'm sorry, with the Depopulate, but it's all good. We'll figure it out. They may drop a Shieldred here or that. That's annoying. All right, so another Depopulate is going to be important. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. All right, well, it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. So those are all going to die again. We go down to 10. We did need to get rid of that quickly because the Graveyard Trespasser is an absolute nightmare. So it's all good. Hopefully something big. Okay, that is big, but it's not going to kill us too fast. We got the Arbiter. Can attack it in with haste, but
drop it.
Yeah, it's going to get tricky here in a second, guys. I do need that land actually for this to actually be able to pop, so I think dropping Kaya is unfortunately the best option here. We find the land though, so that's a bummer. All right, let's force them to discard that last card in hand. I think that's probably the best move here. Discard your last card in hand. Hopefully it's an Invoke Despair. It's not. It's Infernal Grasp. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, Liliana doesn't exactly have the most threatening feel right now. Obviously they have no cards in hand though, so it's like pretty beneficial for them to just keep plussing it. It's a good top deck, I can't lie. Let's get the Arbiter in here. We have no targets honestly for the Arbiter, which is a bit of a bummer, but no big deal. Wait, hold on, cancel. Attack here. We're gonna absolutely maximize this Teferi here. Maximize Teferi. Oh, they scoop it up. We were just about to start going off here, man. So what I was gonna do there is I was actually going to plus Teferi, and then with the Teferi plus, we were gonna unlock you, and then just play out an Indulgence to draw even more cards. Things were gonna go extremely well there for us towards the end, but they decided they didn't want to see anymore, man, which is unfortunate because we had a really fun game starting to build up there. GG. Man, so close to doing some really cool stuff there. It's all good though. On to the next one. This one's gonna be good, man. I feel like we're gonna get some crazy games with this thing. I hope. As long as the games go a little bit longer and we can get, you know, multiple creatures going here. But oh, opening hand here, not great. Still not great, but at least, I mean, at least we can maybe pull something off here. We're really gonna need to see like a Tainted Indulgence off the top or Thirst for Discovery, one of those two things. Oh, of course it's mono blue, man. What a bummer. I see mono blue and I just get angry, just immediately angry. Oh, what a bummer, what a bummer. All right, Impulse, here we go. Consider, sure. Sure, here we go. Let's see how many times we can get countered this game. All right, I just got to get the Dollhouse to resolve. If I can get the Dollhouse to resolve at any point in this game, we're going to be in a good spot. But that is the big if here. A big if. I'll probably hold on to Destroy Evil here. Obviously, it's going to be the target for the Djinn. But, okay, they're playing Fairy Vandal. I didn't expect that. But the Destroy Evil for the Djinn would be really good on the end step of their turn going into my 5th turn. That way I could try to get the Dollhouse to resolve after they bounce their Djinn back to their hand maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here. But man, Teferi's also solid. But yeah, let's pass the turn here. Let's wait. Let's wait to see what they want to do here on turn 3. I really hope they play out the Djinn here. They don't. All right, bummer. Bummer. Well, I mean, I can keep taking a hit from the Fairy Vandal all day long. So if that's what they want to do, if that's the game they want to play, by all means, go for it. Because we could take our time here, man. We can take our time to set up. There's the Djinn, and there is their big mistake. They just made a very big error there. Not so much because they played the Djinn, but the fact that it's unprotected, right? There's no protection coming down for them because they're tapped out, which is the big thing here. Now, what do we try to resolve here? I think trying to resolve the Arbiter seems like a pretty logical decision here, but it could get bounced simply with a Fading Hope. Man, I'm not sure. But if I can get the Arbiter down and then get the Warden, I gotta get the Dollhouse. In the long-term game here, the Dollhouse is the play here, because the Dollhouse is going to be the one spell that I don't think mono blue can bounce or do anything to interact with. So if they counter these, at least I can go ahead and get them back from the graveyard, right? So there's a lot happening there. Okay, that is very bizarre. But they did have the Fading Hope, which was what I was really kind of concerned about. So that's nice. But they're looking for land probably. So they scry to the bottom, but I don't know why they wouldn't attack there first. All right, nothing from the opponent. I think we're gonna be okay here, guys. I mean, they are hurting right now for mana and for other sorts of spells, so we might be okay here. Yeah, there's really nothing I have to do here, but again, if they counter my stuff, I can just bring it back. So let's go ahead and try to resolve this out. Seems like a very, you know, safe, a pretty safe idea. Syncopate would be annoying, but Make Disappear is fine. Syncopate wouldn't have had enough mana to do anything at all with that anyway, so let's get the Warden down. And by the way, I threw my hand down on my desk and accidentally clicked my main phase 1. I should have done that all in main phase 1 because I could have attacked in there and gotten an extra card, but I put my hand down and accidentally clicked my keyboard. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. All right, let's try to get the Arbiter down. Same thing. We don't really care if it gets countered. So it turns out we're actually not as bad against mono blue as I anticipated here. I thought it was going to be a really tough game to get things resolved, but you know, playing that Destroy Evil the way we did, I think that was very clutch. Arbiter comes in. And you can go. Attack with all here, hopefully hitting some more good stuff here. Kaya is not bad, and there's the scoop. Yeah, they were going to be running out of ideas there pretty soon. We had everything starting to flow here, all the cards starting to flow in. We were going to drop another Dollhouse, but once the Dollhouse is down, I really think mono blue is kind of screwed because their counters at that point don't really mean a lot to us because they just counter it. We bring it right back with the Dollhouse, and there's really not a whole lot of interaction going on there. Fading Hope would be the most dangerous card, but they actually ended up using it on their own Fairy Vandal to try to find land, so bummer for them, but GG. All right, that went extremely well, man. I'm pretty happy with that. That went really nice. I was so scared when I first saw mono blue there. I'm sure you guys saw my demeanor switch, but man, I just cannot stand running into that deck. It is frustrating. It is frustrating because its whole design is just to not allow you to play Magic, which is such a bummer. All right, the opening hand here is scary, but if I find a third land drop, potentially could be good here if it's like a blue or black source. I'm gonna keep it and give it a chance here. I'm just really hoping for that blue or black source off the top here. Don't let me down here, game. All right, that's fine. This is totally a fine card. Just need what I need. Mono black so far. Bank Buster, but why would they be running the Rivetiers Overlook? That's kind of strange. Kind of strange. So it's red, okay. Interesting. Yes, we get our land drop. Let's go. How do we proceed though? Do we want them to get the treasure? Do we care about that? Or I don't know. I don't know what we're up against, man. This is tough because I just don't know what we're up against. I feel like almost like we have to just wait and do the Thirst for Discovery or the Tainted Indulgence to find what we need, because I don't know exactly what we need right now. Okay, they drop 2 cards here. They drop a green source, so they are a Rivetier, so they are Jund colors here. Are they doing the Reanimator stuff though, or what? I just don't know what they're doing here because the Fables would indicate that they're doing some sort of like reanimation stuff. These lands being in the graveyard too is kind of weird. I guess it's like it's gonna be the what is the name of that card? Is it Windgrace? Or there's that Jund creature that basically thrives off of lands being in the graveyard. It's got to be that card that we're looking at here. Yep, there it is, Windgrace. All right, I've yet to run into this card and see it do what it needs to do. So let me just go double check what it does here. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Discard a land, and you can do stuff. Okay, that's fine. Gotta keep in mind it can go indestructible as well. So let's go ahead and pop this real quick. Depopulate seems like it's gonna be the move here. There's our land. We love that. All right, we got some stuff in the graveyard. Got some stuff in the graveyard. I love the Void Rend for the Bank Buster too down the road. That's going to be super helpful. But for now, Depopulate seems pretty good. They're going to draw a card though, which is a bit of a bummer, but you know what? It is what it is. We gotta clear this out, I think. I could have gone Destroy Evil there too. I mean, we had options, but I think that's fine. Clear out the board. Try to keep it as minimal as possible, so things like Dusk Mangler has more of an impact. So So we got 4, 3, so 3, 4, 5, and 7. 3, 4, 5, and 7. So one Tainted Indulgence going to the graveyard here will activate the other indulgences to allow us to draw cards. So this right here says if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile instead. When you do, create a 1/1 green Saproling token. Sacrifice Saproling. Get 2 tunes on turn. Sacrifice 2 to draw a card. That's fine. All right. Let's go Tainted here. And then I think we're gonna go. Man, what do we do here? This is a legendary, so they can't copy it. So if they drop something big time next turn, I mean, this is also a legendary. I'm gonna go for Bankbuster. I don't want them drawing any more cards. I think them drawing cards is probably the worst thing for us here. So we're gonna Void Rend that. Our hand is really, really good as far as card advantage goes, but we do need to find like another sweeper or something like that. That is unfortunate because if they go level 3 with that thing, they can steal our creature, but instead they actually just go for level 1, which is surprising because we have some good creatures in the graveyard. So that would have been a bummer. We lucked out there a little bit. We can destroy it too with the Destroy Evil, so that's fantastic. That's not bad. Man, I want to play that so bad. Let's go with this though and see what we hit. Hopefully a land drop. There we go. We got our land drop. Love that. Draw some more cards. We're looking for a sweeper. We don't find it just yet, but we do have Destroy Evil, so that's got to go. Again, I cannot have them taking my cards from my own graveyard here, so gonna have to deal with it. We're looking for our Dollhouse of Horrors, and we'll be in a really good spot. I would have loved to get Teferi down there, but it just wouldn't have been able to do much for us. It would have got ran over, unfortunately. Liliana is fine.
Is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things. Don't overthink things.
All right, cut down. That's fine too. That's actually really good for us that that went away because that's a very efficient answer to our 1/1s that we're going to be creating. So we'll take it. I'm probably going to have to drop Teferi here in minus just because I need to make sure that we find that Dollhouse. But I guess we can do the exact same thing with this. No, Teferi's got to be the play because it also takes the pressure off of me getting hit. Well, actually, hold on. Hold the phone here. If I plus it, I gain a little bit of life too, and I can cast the Thirst for Discovery play. I'm going to minus. I'm going to minus. I have to find the tools. I have to find the tools here. Destroy Evil's interesting. That's actually really interesting because they may just attack into us. Yeah, this is good. So we might be able to keep our Teferi alive here, believe it or not, with the Destroy Evil. We're really treading some strange waters here, and the reason being is because we have not found our Dollhouse of Horrors yet, and we're almost halfway through our deck. So this is super, super unlikely to happen, but it is currently happening, which is a bit of a bummer. So you have two really good options here. So I'm assuming they're going to send their Reflection of Kiki Jiki into the Teferi, and I'll kill it with the... Oh, you're kidding. Is that scary right now, though? Probably... Shoot, man. I don't know. Is it smarter to save Teferi, or... Teferi can go 3 cards deep, man. I feel like I have to save Teferi here, and then we can find a... Hold on. How many depopulates have we seen so far? Just 1, right? Still 2 more in the deck. I like my odds, man. I like my odds. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this. Save Teferi. Go a little bit deeper into the deck here. Depopulate. There it is. Okay. Whew. Ooh. They draw a card off of this though, which is a bit of a bummer. But might be worth it. Might be worth it. Probably like that. And I'll just hit a Thirst for Discovery. Man. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Dang, the Mangler would be a better drop here, but I don't have a Dollhouse yet, and we're halfway through our deck, man. What's going on here? Teferi minus will I mean, I can almost guarantee the Teferi minus by this time should be able to get down a Dollhouse of Horrors here. I would imagine they're gonna take their own Toxrill here. They don't. Wow. All right. That's unfortunate. Really need this Dollhouse of Horrors to come down, man. Like extremely bad.
We all have things we
I'm gonna 1 2 3 4 5 plus the 1. Okay. Unfortunately, gonna have to drop this. Come on, Teferi, we need you here. There's no way, right? 1 2 3 4 5. Wow, we lose this game unless I find a way to deal with the Mangler. I don't. I didn't even mean to do that. Didn't even mean to do that. Wow, I cannot believe we just lost this game. It took us how many cards deep? It took us more than half of our deck to find a Dollhouse of Horrors here. So we unfortunately lose this game just by sheer bad luck. I mean, maybe I should have kept a couple of my cards here in the early game to cast out at some point, but unfortunately, man, that just was such a bummer. Super unlucky for us there. We could have easily won that game, I mean, by a landslide, but yeah, it happens. Gosh darn it, man, that's just super unfortunate. Unlucky for us there, but it's okay. We'll bounce back. I like the way this feels, man. The late game, it feels so good when you do actually get a Dollhouse resolved, but that's the key, right? Getting it resolved. The opponent goes first. I do have Destroy Evil early. This might actually be okay. No swamps in hand, but I mean, Thirst for Discovery on turn 3. This is pretty good, man. We can make this work. We can make this work. See what the opponent's playing though, right? Let's see if it's another mono blue deck or not. Oh, why did I open my mouth? Why did I open my mouth? All right, here we go. Let's let the navigation skills begin. We're gonna have to just really play this as best as we can, and nice and slow, nice and steady. Let's see if this resolves. Probably not, but it is worth casting here, I think. See if the opponent allows it or not. They do not. They Spell Pierce it away, so that's good information that they're running Spell Pierce. That's good to know. Now, hopefully they throw down a Djinn here. They don't. Wow. Okay. Well, no Djinn means no Dollhouse for us, because we have to make sure that they, at least come close to tapping out here like that in order for us to get down a Dollhouse. So I'm feeling really good now. I actually, the more and more we play these mono blue decks, the more confident I start to feel about how things are going to play out for us, because we now have a Dollhouse resolved with additional mana to tap it sideways in order to bring back a Dusk Mangler, which should pretty much force them into conceding here, I would imagine. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I mean, I love to see it, but you hate to see it if you're them. Another mono blue deck down, huh? Turns out we have a pretty good matchup here against mono blue. I really didn't anticipate that, because we have such bigger spells that we're trying to resolve. We're basically like, if our Dollhouse doesn't resolve, we get blown out, right? Which makes it seem like mono blue would be a complete terrible matchup for us, because they can counter it so easily. But at the same time, we've been in positions where we allow them to resolve one big creature and try to hit it with a removal spell, forcing another spell out of their hand, and then we get it to resolve almost every time, which is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and try this out. Let's try this out. Last card in your hand. What's it gonna be? It's got to be something interactive, unfortunately. Looks like Spell Pierce, maybe. Oh, nothing. Okay, cool. Cool. Destroy Evil gets resolved here. We're gonna definitely go with the Tainted Indulgence. Well, did this come in actually this turn? It did not. So if we find a land here, this will be good. Make disappear. Fair enough. I respect it. So that's why they didn't counter the last spells, because I had the 2 mana there to work with. So not surprising. Let's go and try a Tainted Indulgence again here. We drop the Warden here. Warden comes back in. We immediately with the Warden get to draw 2 cards, which is so good, by the way. I know, you know, taking a Warden down to a 5/5 may seem like a bad idea, but if you got the Warden down and it comes in with haste, you get to draw 2 cards right away. And also if you have a Kaya down, you get to draw 4 cards, creating 8 tokens, which is really ridiculous. But another mono blue victory. It feels great. It always feels so good taking down mono blue, guys. I'll never get over how happy that makes me. All right, what do you got? Opening hand here. I get to go first. Indulgence into hopefully some other stuff is really, really good. So we'll keep it. Sorry, I'm looking over at my thing because I had some audio issues in between that last game and now. I bumped my Go XLR again and it just completely shut down. What else is new? My audio interface is just so jacked up. Price of having kids, you know what I'm saying? They come in, they destroy your stuff. All right, we're gonna need to find a depopulate. Noted. Duly noted. The Teferi's nice because it can gain us life, but our hand is extremely slow compared to a mono red deck coming in and just smashing us immediately. But they go for a Smoldering Egg. Okay, you know what? That normally would be like, you know, oh, that's a good card and everything, but not that scary. If your mono red's playing a defender out on turn 2, you just count your blessings. All right, only taking 2 here. Love that. Love that. I think they're testing the waters on whether or not I have instant speed magic here, which I definitely do. But it's not the kind that they should be too afraid of or feared. All right, we finally got that, so that's good. I don't think we need this much land, do we? We do need a second white source in case we do find that depopulate, so I think that's the move here. And then Teferi survives an opponent's attack from Kumano, so I think we just plus this, which is kind of nice. And then we could drop the the Clear Skies Sphinx down next turn just as a body to block with, honestly. Play with Fire going right to my face when they could have held that over for Teferi. But I guess maybe because they have enough instant sorcery speed spells to maybe transform the Smoldering Egg. That could be a problem. All right, there we go. Teferi at 5, you know, gaining us 2 life there, negating essentially the play with fire play. Facebreaker's fine. Again, not something with haste. Their particular mono red deck not going to be too good against our deck just because they're a little bit slower. A normal mono red deck that, you know, strives to get 1, 2, and 3 drop down, you know, just smash our face quickly. That would be pretty good, but I think we're okay against this matchup. I think they're debating on whether or not they want to go face here because they want to get that treasure or whatever. But if they go face, Teferi is definitely going to mine us and find us what we need.
Now that was a surprise.
Darn it. Okay, not ideal. Not ideal. Definitely going to go with the Clear Skies, though. Like I said, a great body to just block here and just make a good defensive play. It can't stop the face breaker, unfortunately, but if they do transform the smoldering egg somehow, I don't know how that's going to be possible. It could be a very big instant or sorcery spell, but no, instead they drop the squee. And it's actually not a bad play here because like I said, the face breaker gets through and then the squee just, you know, spits out these 1/1s for them, but I could block the 1/1 pretty easily. If I find another land, I mean, dropping the All-Seeing Arbiter might not be a bad idea. They're giving me the squee here. Okay. Kind of strange, but I'll take it. Guess they want that treasure. Again, they must have some really big spell that's going to, you know, cost a lot and then transform the smoldering egg, I would imagine. Another land. Is the Arbiter going to be the play, though? Or is it going to be the Dollhouse into an Arbiter? Dollhouse Arbiter seems pretty good just because we can dump off the other Arbiter when it comes in and it can attack right away, triggering a second round. So I think that's going to be the play. They have instant speed magic here. It's got to be like some sort of fireball to the face type of an effect. They can't hit the Sphinx though because it has the ward mechanic. So even, well, I guess if it was like a 1 mana spell, but it's not enough to kill the Sphinx, unfortunately. Because if it's ward 2 mechanic, so they'd have to pay the 2. So a play with fire is not going to get the job done. Definitely bringing in the All-Seeing Arbiter here, and it goes down to a 3. There we go. A depopulate. Not bad, not bad. All right. We attack in here, and then we make the Professional Facebreaker also -3. So there's really not a lot of power coming back our way, which is why I'm kind of attacking into our opponent here. We're going to get some good value off of the Sphinx. And we're looking to draw some cards here, which is nice. Ah, it's all lands though. They gave me every land. Okay, cool. I'll take them all. Discard this and this. All right, everything they have now becomes basically useless. And that's only because they gave me so many excess cards here that we had to discard 2 more, which triggers the Arbiter again, which honestly, I kind of forgot that that was going to happen there. All right, so they draw a card off of the Facebreaker, which gets them another creature here, which is not a bad creature, but it doesn't really help them too much here. Now, we have some options now, so we can either depopulate the board, cleaning up my own things too, and then hitting a Dollhouse to get back something, or I can just ignore the fact that their board, you know, the board state that they have exists, because I can go double Arbiter and then I can just, you know, keep copying the Arbiter over and over again, and then they can't really do any sort of attacks back. So I don't know. We're in no danger of milling ourselves just yet, so that might be the move. A lot of card advantage there on that turn. Well played on their part. And they got a ton of mana to work with too. Dusk Mangler. Pretty cool. I think double Dusk Mangler seems pretty fun. Yeah, double Dusk Mangler is going to be the play here. So we're going to attack in first. We're doing a lot less damage in this regard. We could have done more damage the other way around and maybe forced a couple of blocks, but double Dusk Mangler just seems to be way too good. Just in case it transforms at any point. All right, so we finally get to see Kaya in action though. Kaya's gonna, you know, showcase just how good she can actually be. I wonder if they give me all 3 cards again. They do. They have no idea what they're doing when they do that, but I'll take it. All right, so Kaya comes in. I mean, look at our hand right now, just absolutely ridiculous. We -2, which is gonna double up on all of our tokens here. Now we go Dollhouse of Horrors. We get double the Dusk Manglers onto the field, and we still have 3 mana to work with, which means we have a good Void Rend here. And the opponent does have to kill 2 of their own creatures here and discard 2 of their cards in hand, and that is lethal because of the 4 damage that Dusk Mangler deals passively. So this should be game. Now the additional 4 and 4 damage actually just was a happy accident. I could have probably thought that through and figured that out as well, but it turns out to be the right play regardless. GG's. Clean victory on that one. Our deck almost draws too many cards at some point. I feel like we're going to end up milling ourselves out, but that's a good thing. All right, maybe one more game for the road here. Let's see if we can squeeze it in. I hope so. I'm having a lot of fun with this thing, so I don't really want to move on just yet to another deck. Opening hand here. Not good enough, unfortunately. This is much better. Much better. All right, opponent looks like they might be mono red again. I do have Destroy Evil, which does hit the Kumano, which is nice, but not a whole lot of their creatures are going to be 4 toughness or more. Should get interesting on that front. All right, so they're definitely going to go for more of an artifacts type of a deck here, which means that the Smelter might be like their main win con. Getting down those 3/1s. Play with fire, sure. They're really going in here pretty fast. 1 to the top. Dusk Mangler goes. Yeah, we're hurting here for some value though. We need to find some answers for this problem right now. We don't have very good ones in the hand here. Destroy Evil, normally a really good answer, but against mono red and you're talking about little weenie creatures, it's not a very good card. Yeah, it just misses that, unfortunately. Wow. But I mean, if we just pass the turn here, it will go to nighttime, and then you know, the Destroy Evil will be good against it. So that might be the move we have to go with here. Yeah, it would be nice to get Teferi down though, but Teferi would just die. So we're gonna pass the turn here, let it flip over, which does allow the Destroy Evil to be effective now. Let's see what their next drop is here. We might be able to get double Destroy Evil if it's another. Okay, good. Perfect. You're dead. They have the blood token that's holding priority right now. I would imagine that's probably the only thing that's slowing the priority hold down at the moment. Now if we can just get Teferi down and it plus it, we're gonna be okay because we just gain 2 life every turn. These deal 2 life. You know, it's a net even, and then it just, you know, eventually allows us to get a lot of value as far as card draw and stuff like that goes. They do eat the blood token, which means one of the cards in their hand is probably going to be a land here that they're trying to get rid of, I would imagine. Yeah, it's got to be. Got to be a land in their hand that they're trying to drop. Here we go. I see why they took their time with that though, because it was a land that actually does produce some sort of value for them. So
Someone call for a hero?
all right, here we go. Gain the 2 life right back that we just lost, but the opponent does have 3 cards in hand. 1 is a land though. Beautiful. Do they have an answer for Teferi? They both attack Teferi. This is good news for us. Ah, lightning strike. All right, that'll do it. But at least we got the lightning strike out of their hand and you know, directed at Teferi. So this is also fantastic. What a good draw right there. We get another Teferi. That should be the game. I would imagine with mono red only having 1 card in hand here, probably going to be the game. And then we also find a Sanctuary Warden, which is just ridiculously good. All right, there's nothing they can do to get through this line of defense at all. So mono red, gonna have to take an L here. There it is. GG's. Good final game there to close it out with. Man, this deck was this was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down now though, and we'll discuss it. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for sticking around with me. I appreciate that so very much. If you stuck around this long into the video, we are going to break the deck down. But before I do so, I have to give a huge shout out to you guys and let you know how much I appreciate you, because if you did make it this far, it helps the YouTube algorithm a ton. So thank you so much for helping support the video. It absolutely means the world to me. But with that being said, let's take a look at today's deck, man. So how did this thing come to be? Well, if you guys don't know anything about me, the Dollhouse of Horrors is top, one of my top favorite reanimation spells of all time. This thing is so much fun because it just opens the door for so much creativity, bringing back your creatures as single tokens for 1 mana. I mean, you get the huge upside of the fact that you can do this every single turn for 1 single mana, which is crazy. But there's that huge downside of making your creature a 1/1 token, right? So you have to have really good enter the battlefield triggers, like I said, some good attack triggers because you've got the haste mechanic. So we've played this before in all sorts of colors, but never in Esper. And I wanted to play it in Esper because I really wanted to play the All-Seeing Arbiter again. I've only played this card one other time, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I wanted to try it again, and I thought today would be a good try to put it into the Dollhouse and see how it pans out. So I was like, how can I take this to even a further level of nonsense? And I figured Teferi and Kaya were both good choices in this deck. Kaya came to mind first, obviously, because we've played it with the Dollhouse before, and it doubling the tokens is absolutely bonkers when that does happen. But then Teferi was a late addition, but I thought it would work so well with today's deck because of the fact that it can on-tap the Dollhouse and we can reuse it again for a second trigger, which is really, really good because one trigger is broken enough, but being able to do it twice is insane. So I thought that'd be a good fit. And then from there I had to put together a team of Esper where I knew would work really well with today's deck. So Duskmangler was a no-brainer. This card has made all of my Reanimator decks because there's huge downsides to playing this card yourself, but if you reanimate it, you don't have to pay all these additional costs to the card. So it makes a lot of sense in any sort of Reanimator deck, and really forces your opponent into some bad situations. And if you can copy it, dealing 8 damage when it comes back, pretty game ending, honestly. And then that opens the door for some Sphinx as well, because I have not ever even played the Sphinx card, but knowing that it gets haste and can attack right away, and it having flying and being elusive, you should be able to trigger that domain effect, right away and get a ton of value as far as card advantage goes. Speaking of card advantage, I knew I had to splash in a couple Sanctuary Wardens because that, of course, too, is one of the best Esper creatures you could be throwing down at all times. And keep in mind, guys, I didn't put things like Toxrill in here because, Toxrill being a legendary creature and whatnot, I wanted to make sure if I was going to be making multiples of these things that I didn't want to make them legendary and I didn't want to have Kaya copying these things and then having them legendary rule themselves. So I wanted to make sure that all of these creatures were not legendary. And then from there, the rest of the deck, I needed to make sure I had a lot of tools that could help get us to these end games, right? Because our end games are bonkers. It's absolutely powerful end games, but the beginning, we needed to have some good removal and ways to get through our deck quickly to do what we need to do. So of course we went with Tainted Indulgence, Thirst for Discovery, a full package, because it's our 2/3 drop. It gets us set up for everything we need to do. Most, 9 times out of 10, we can go 2/3, boom, we're ready to go for our Dollhouse. We're ready to go for, our creatures right away. So those two were no brainers. And then from there, I chose Depopulate as a way to just cleanly sweep the board, take care of any sort of aggro decks quickly and cleanly. And then from there, we had some good spot removal with Destroy Evil. Big fan of this card. I think it's been doing really, really well in the meta currently. And then Voidrend being able to hit anything and everything and it not being able to get countered from mono blue is always super helpful. So that, though, is how we put this thing together. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, man. Top tier for me, man. I absolutely love this deck. I think it was a lot of fun. Would love to continue playing it, but I do have to move on to make some more decks, unfortunately, because that's what we do, a new deck every weekday. So I hope you guys enjoyed, though. And before I get out here, as always, a huge shout out goes to the Mardu Mob. If you guys don't know, the Mardu Mob is the membership program on this channel. So gotta give a huge shout out to these people because they help support the channel with their monthly memberships. And just say thank you again to all of them at the end of every video to let them know how much I appreciate their support and keeping this channel alive and growing every single day. So thank you guys, appreciate it. Huge love and appreciation. And with that being said though, guys, that will conclude today's video. We'll see you back here again tomorrow for another one. Until next time, guys, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.